Hello guys, this is Ray Chen. So today we're gonna do a summary on Sam Zell's book. Am I being too settled? Am I being too settled? Okay. So again, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell icon. And if you have any comment, leave a comment. This is a great book. I truly enjoyed it. I learned a lot from this book. Okay, so that's why I want to make sure to share with you guys. It's there's a lot of good stuff in here. So this guy, he is crazily successful. He is ranked number 148 on the Forbes list. Okay, his name's Sam Zell. Right now, according to Forbes, his real net worth is $5.3 billion. So he made most of his wealth, number one, from real estate, number two, from buying and selling businesses, and number three, from IPOs, initial public offering. Okay, so in 1968, he started a company called Equity Group Investment, which today invests in energy industries, logistics industries, and the healthcare industry. So he actually started from real estate. So he actually got into company investment with the help of Schwarzman, the founder of Blackstone. So right now, of course, he's huge, right? He invests, in billions of dollars in huge companies. But he started from managing student housing. So I'll go into more of that later on. So he is the forefather of modern real estate investment trust, which is REITs, right? So he chairs 5 public companies, including one of the nation's largest residential REITs. So I'm just going over some of the deals that he have done, so he's a big shot. He's not, like a nobody. And after I go through the deals he has done, and later on I'm gonna show you from the book why he's able to do such big deals. What is the reason behind it? Okay, why is he's able to make so much money? Okay, so he did a deal, the biggest deal ever. He did a 39 billion sales of the office REITs, equity office, to Blackstone just before the market crash in 2007. So it's one of the largest real estate deals ever, in history. Okay, listen, it's 39 billion. Okay, it's a billion with a B. So around the same time, he led a $8.2 billion buyout of the newspaper owner Tribune Company. But this one he didn't do quite well. The company ended up bankrupt. So as a college student, he managed a 15-unit student apartment building in exchange for a free room. His enterprise was netting $150,000 by the time of graduation. So so the first deal he ever did was he teamed up with a college friend. They went around, bought a whole bunch of houses nearby the college, and basically he just went around and talked to each one of the owners to get the option, persuaded the owners to sell him the home. So he had the option signed, and then he went to talk to his dad. His dad at the time was already a very successful businessman. So they went to talk with his dad. Initially, they were going to give his dad 1/3 of the company share, and his dad didn't agree. So later on, but his dad wanted half, like 50% of the share of that investment. So later on, they thought about it. They went back and they agreed on it. So they were able to do that deal. So they bought all the homes with multiple homeowners nearby the college, and then they made that piece of land into one big land. And then they were able to sell it to another investor for huge profit. Okay, that's the first. I believe that's the first deal he did. Okay, so obviously, from all the deals that you have seen, that he is a big shot, right? He's a real life real estate tycoon. So he's actually an immigrant. So his parents actually immigrated from Poland. So they're Jewish. At the time there was a Nazi Germany. They were killing everybody. So his dad was a very sharp guy. So he knew that they have to escape, otherwise they're gonna be dead. So that's why they were able to escape Poland and they came to America. So they escaped Poland actually in 1939. So Sam, that this guy, he's old, right? So when he came, he was like a baby, but they were able to escape to America. So throughout this book, it talks about a lot of Sam's highlights. It highlights his guiding principle for how they were able to make so much money, right? So the first principle he talked about is the loss of supply and demand. This one stick with me. This idea stick with me really well. So it's a simple idea. I studied economy in college before, but I didn't think of it this way. Now that I read the book and I put the two and two together, and it makes big sense, right? Because the loss of supply and demand, this is where the money is made. So basically, you got to look at the cycle, right? Just like the other day, I talk about Warren Buffett's quotes. He's saying that you want to be fearful when everybody's greedy, right? You want to be greedy when everybody's fearful. That's basically another way to talk about this law of supply and demand. Basically, when the demand is really high, that means everybody wants to buy, right? So when the demand is high, when the supply is low, everybody want to buy. So at this time, you're not gonna get anything cheap, right? Because everybody's buying. So when everybody is in this greed mode, you don't want to buy because you're not gonna get any good deals, right? Let's say on the other hand, if right now nobody want to buy, if the supply is everywhere, then the price is gonna drop, and then you might want to start getting, just like back in 2008, right? In 2008, because the bank crisis, the banking crisis, everything's going on. The real estate started crash, and homes that used to be worth 300,000, 500,000 now is worth nothing. So that's why it's time to buy, because nobody wanted, everybody's scared. So that's the time you should be greedy, right? So that's what he's talking about, the supply, the loss of supply and demand. He actually was able to buy a lot of real estate cheaply with this this law. Also, he also invested in a lot of companies. So another principle he used is liquidity equals value. So anytime if you have the liquidity, that means the asset is worth something, right? So another idea, another guiding principle he utilized is limited competition. So that's similar. That's kind of related to the supply and demand, right? So you want to buy something, you want to invest in something, when nobody else is doing it, right? But how do you get that? How are you able to make sure that you are at that right place and right time where there's limited competition? There's a couple ways to do it, right? One way is you got to know the market before everybody else know the market, right? So before everybody else realize that it's the best time to invest, you got to get in there, right? That's when you're the only one that's buying, right? Or you got to be willing to go out of your comfort zone, right? So like this guy, Sam, he was investing in real estate. He was investing in company everywhere around the world. So I remember he's in the book, he was talking about he put a lot of money into a like a commercial real estate shopping mall company. So that was in Brazil, I think, because back then nobody's dared to invest in Brazil. But he looked at each country, he looked at their political stability, he looked at the leaders, if they're pro-market, if they're pro-capitalism. So although the country maybe not that good at the time, but he looked at the trend. He looked at, does the country have the potential to grow big? So then once he decide that this country is on the up and coming, the leader, they are open-minded, they're democratic, they allow capitalism, they allow open market. and then he go in and buy when everybody else is still scared to buy, right? That's why I said you gotta assess risk. I was talking about I had another video talk about risk. So he makes sure he always able to buy when there's limited competition. That's when you can get the deal, right? If everybody's trying to bid for something, you're not gonna get the deal because the price is gonna keep going up, going up, going up. Because it's very important to buy with limited condition, because you are actually making money when you buy, right? You are not making money when you sell. Okay, whether you will make a lot of money or not, it depending on how you buy it, right? How cheaply you buy it, right? So there's another way he put it. I feel like it's really makes a lot of sense to me. Is that he was saying that, let's say if you own a piece of real estate, any time when you decide to continue to hold it, that means you're trying to buy it back. That's a really good way to put it, right? So right now I'm investing in some mobile home parks. So I tie up the I have a deposit. So I do the due diligence. I check out any risk factors, and I think about if today I might still be, if I didn't buy this property and I'm trying to buy it now, would I still buy it, right? So that's a good way to look at it. So another principle he has is long-term relationship. So he does a lot of business with these major companies, with these major partners. So what he does is he design like a annual gifts. So every year, he makes some kind of gift that, and he send it to his business partners around the world, and he make it fun, right? I think he likes to ride motorcycle too. So he maintains long-term relationship, and he makes sure he does good. He is good to other people, so that he can have more opportunity to do business with his partners, right? Business partners. So that's another thing that he values. And another thing he values is importance of simplicity, right? So he invests in real estate, he invests in companies. So it's got to make sense, right? He for example, he invests in the office REITs. He also has a company called Equity Lifestyles, where they invest in high-end mobile home parks. So he also invests in all different type of companies. So basically, the business model has to make sense. It has to be how do you say? It has to be straightforward, just like what Warren Buffett say, right? Whatever you invest in, you got to make sure that you understand the business. Like for example, Warren Buffett, he doesn't invest in high-tech companies. He invests in like companies like Coca-Cola, those kind of companies. So it's very simple business model, right? So also, what he also said that he's all about buying foreclosures and opportunities. So he's not going to buy anything at the market price. He always find opportunities to buy something cheap. So that's why it's important to make sure that there's limited competition, and so that's what's going on. So he actually went to law school, but he tried to go join the law firm, but the law firm wouldn't hire him. So the law firm, they look at his resume, is like, because he already, when the time he graduated from law school, he already did a whole bunch of real estate deals already. So he just ended up, started doing real estate deals. So another side note, when he was younger, his parents used to make him to, go to a Jewish school. So he actually, by himself, when he was very young, take the train to go to Jewish school. So I think he used to live in the suburbs. So he used to ride a train to go to downtown Chicago to go to the Jewish school. So he discovered that over there you can buy the magazine Playboy pretty cheaply. So he used to go buy the Playboy magazine in downtown and bring back to his suburbs hometown and to sell to his friends, and he would make some money that way. So another way, so he's always about finding ways to make the money, always about finding different ways to get more profit. So there's one way one loophole, it's like a tax loophole. He discovered how to make more money. It's called NOLS. What that means is it means net operating loss carry forward. So basically, he would go buy companies. So he actually discovered about this by paying close attention to what's going on with all these laws, right? So when Congress passed this law, it's called the Economic Recovery Tax Act. So he was able to recognize the value of the extension of net operating loss carry forward. So by using this, taking advantage of this net operating loss carry forward, he was able to buy public traded companies, purchase public traded companies with a large net operating loss carry forwards. So he was able to show the profits and increase the profitability through reduction of tax payments. Due to the fact that he recognized this much earlier than other competitors, he was able to acquire several companies with limited competition. So as you can see, this guy, he's a sharp guy, right? He started making money investing in real estate even when he was young. Although his dad helped him, but he did have the foresight and have the tenacity to drive it through, right? Because I'll go more into detail about his first deal. So the first deal he did was buying a whole bunch of homes nearby the college. So he had to persuade each homeowners to sell the home to him. So what he does is he just goes to each homeowner. He said, "Hey, look at it. I'm gonna buy all the homes nearby here. So by the time I finish buying all the other homes, if you don't sell the home to me, I'm gonna build the student housing, and your home is gonna be, really noisy." So he kind of talk like that to make sure that the people sell to them. So there's one owner he tried to persuade. The person that's living at the house is actually not the owner. The person is the niece of the uncle. The uncle actually owned the home, but the niece said the only way he would move is that he could find a home where it would be convenient for her brother to come back. So to make a long story short, because her brother was like an alcoholic, he always go to the bar. So he got to be able to walk back and forth to the bar. And when he come home, he's got to be able to go into his room without going up and down the stairs. So she wanted this homeowner's nephew wanted Sam to find a home. I mean, he didn't want Sam to find a home. This is what Sam discovered. So he kept going back to the home, the nephew. He kept going back to the niece, not the nephew. He kept going back, tried to figure out what's the reason she wouldn't move. Then she found out that she wanted to make sure that her brother, whatever new home they moved to, it has to be within walking distance of the bars, and it has to have a room downstairs where her brother can, go back to his room without going back up and down of the stairs. So he was able to discover this why, and he was able to convince the owner to sell that home and to buy all the other homes, and they were able to resell to another investor for a hefty profit, right? So anyway, so this is pretty much the summary of the book. So I know a lot of people, you probably don't have a chance to listen, to sit around and watch and read the whole book. So I figure I do this summary about this book. It helped me a lot. The reason I'm reviewing this book and doing the summary of this book is because I find it very helpful for me in my business career. All those stuff I just talked about, and I think you'll find it helpful in your career too, or in your business as well. So again, encourage me by like my video, subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell icon. And if you have any comment, any question, leave a comment. Okay. So until next time. So I actually have two people online. I'm surprised. Okay, great. So if you guys have any question, leave me any comment, and until next time. Okay, this is Reit.